Hello, my dears, my dolls. Welcome to today's reading. We're just going to jump right in because there's deception afoot. And there is a heavy emphasis on romantic relationships in this reading. I will say, though, there was a little nod to like financial or business partnerships. Like, there's a lot of stuff that can allude to contracts in this spread, specifically like written contracts that popped up in Friday's reading. The little bit about if you're like entering into a business agreement with someone to just double check, triple check, reread, check the fine print. You know what I mean? Ask questions, make sure that you are clear, even if you have some type of advisor. And again, this translates back to the romantic relationship. If you're going to someone for advice, just consider the source. Consider that everyone is trying to, let's say, get the best or biggest like slice of pie for themselves. Okay, even people that you would think would want to consider you and wouldn't do anything that would put you in a bad position, because it's not so much malicious intent here. I mean, you could argue that just wanting the best for yourself and not caring how it affects others is malicious. But this is more so like what I am getting from this other party is that they want to get ahead. And so they don't care what the repercussions are. Now, when it comes to the romantic relationships, we're not gonna talk about intent. We're just gonna talk about what's going on, because for some, this is like other people are kind of putting an image on you, talking about certain things, where just now your actions and the way that you move aren't adding up. So people are starting to just have to, the truth can't be denied when just the actions don't line up. Now there are some people who will continue to deny it, but that's not the point. So let's get into it. This is talking about some recent reflections or realizations. There's something that's been just kind of nagging at you. For some, that was even kind of revealed in a different state. This could be a dreamlike state or even just like a meditative state, where when thinking about the past, kind of retracing the steps, as it were, some type of truth is illuminated. This could even be in conversation with someone, like you're talking about a past event and you're like, what? Like you realize something in that moment, whether, they present you with their version of things, like, oh yeah, so and so told me, X, Y, and Z. And you're like, that's not even what happened. All of these types of things, but mostly what I'm getting is like a reflection, more of an internal, like independent, you are kind of thinking about a sequence of events and come to a realization that things are not what they seem. Um, in terms of like the business side, again, it's like going over an agreement, or there's maybe something that was said, like there's a phrase I feel that in the moment, like something didn't sit right, but there wasn't, like you didn't push through on that in the moment, kind of trying to analyze and really get at the core of what someone was saying. Um, there is some kind of power dynamic that is present here as well. I think this person either has access, and it's so strange because it's like this person has access to the people that you have access to, and for one reason or another, they're just very trusted, either within like this group of friends or in this business, right? If this is like a supervisor or something, we do have the emperor here, which could talk about a boss. But someone who ultimately, and I'm getting on the end of the spectrum of the emperor, that's a little more, uh, let's just say, concerned with himself and the things that he wants to go, like in the way that he wants them to go. So there's that, like the pushing of authority, presenting oneself as an authority, like on a topic. It's odd if this is more relationships, because we have the 5 and 6 of cups here. Again, this would be like an ex that is taking some real liberties with how they talk about certain aspects of the relationship with the people around them, with people that or in some way just people that you are connected to. This is really wanting to present themselves as the good guy, or really trying to find that, like that justification, that vindication of like, I'm right and here's why. If there was any underhandedness like in the relationship. I'm literally even hearing someone trying to justify like infidelity and cheating, like, well, they did this, they treated me like this, or whatever. If there was something that like in hindsight even they discovered, like there's just the justification of something that they did that they know was not like the right thing to do, wasn't the kind thing to do. But just really trying to do whatever kind of mental gymnastics to convince others of their perspective. I am going to pull just a few more cards because, especially when it comes to like business and contracts and things like that, there's a level of deception here that I really want to make sure, if this like relates to you, obviously that's important. You enter into a contract with somebody and they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes. That's not okay. I'm even hearing to, it might be on the like phone, text messages. You might see someone that has been just like really misrepresenting. Yeah, 5 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. This is like, what is it that they are attempting to achieve? Divine consciousness. Thank you for the messages so far. This is interesting because it seems like there's a level of like, in their mind, there's some type of competition happening between you two, where it's like this town ain't big enough for both of us. Is like the vibe that I'm getting. This is someone who's deeply insecure and thinks that if someone else was like out of the way, so to speak, that they could have whatever it is. This is someone who does not understand that the things that they're doing, it's like what they are attempting to do will be what they, so you reap what you sow. This is like the goal is to kind of like upend whatever power they see that you have, and kind of put you in this place of isolation and doubt and insecurity. If you've been second guessing like something that you feel very strongly about, this is what I was getting earlier about, like even if you're going to someone for advice, someone like a trusted whoever, a friend, a family member, like just consider that they might have their own motives and reasons for guiding you in the way that they are. That there is maybe something that they could get out of it, even if it's like, this is someone who bases part of their success on others' failures. You know what I mean? Like they feel like there's just not enough space. They feel like they have to be the center of attention with this 9 of Pentacles and 6 of Wands. It's like, you might just be the type of person that naturally people gravitate towards, or your light feels, or something. There's something that they feel like you have that you aren't deserving of, and they deserve it, and so they can do whatever it is that they have to do, or like think to do to get what it is that they believe that they deserve. But it's interesting because it's very clear that like what they are doing in turn is isolating themselves from others, because other people are seeing that what they're saying and what you are doing do not align. There are also other people who are just like aware, like the things that they're saying don't add up. Like it just doesn't even sound right. Like there are some people who don't even believe them at first. Like you know. This it is just because they perceive, like, if again this is an ex, they feel like it's almost like they feel like they're owed something because the relationship didn't work out. This energy is very lots of obsessive kind of thinking, and this is rooted in, honestly, like what it comes back to is a sense of them not feeling secure in themselves. And unfortunately this is like the path that it's taking. Or if I'm getting to like, if after a breakup, and you guys had mutual friends, this is like anytime you're brought up, it's very triggering, and they have to like, I feel like people would probably tell them that they fumbled, you know what I mean, or like they messed up. How could you ruin your chance with so and so? And it's like they can't even let that joke kind of wash over them. They move into a space of defensiveness and like whatever it is that they did, there's a lot of guilt here. Um, and it's like they're even holding on to. I'm getting that they feel like there's like part of the justification is maybe you promised something, but I feel like this is more of an expectation. Like they had unfair expectations that went unfulfilled, so they were like, you know what I mean, like someone that will justify cheating, if they're like, well, we hadn't been physically intimate in however much time, right? And instead of like trying to talk about that and understand what's going on, they just went and were physically intimate with someone else. And also, there's that sense of like entitlement to you at all times. This is someone who really wants to be able to control like the access that they and others have to you. And I think people are finally beginning to realize this. Yeah, they're definitely starting to realize this with this this Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. I don't see you. I mean, you may be aware of this, you know. I don't see you letting it affect your day to day life. You might start hearing about it, or if people have been like acting strange towards you, it's because this person has been in their ear. But again, the people that know you and deserve to be in your life are aware that you just don't operate in that way. Um, yeah, this may come as a surprise to you with this tower, like that this person kind of has this side to them, or that they're dealing with it in this way, and that might be disappointing. But ultimately, it's just talk. I mean, when it comes to the business side, if you're dealing with it, you know, like with business partners, obviously there's more action that needs to be taken and more consideration that you should take when it comes to entering into these types of partnerships. Do you really want to enter into this deal with someone that, if they would have gotten away with it, you know what I mean, would have done you dirty? Or do you trust that moving forward they will kind of be better? Do you want to, you know what I mean, like do you want to be around people that you kind of have to keep an eye on? I think is what this is like asking. And also, if people are coming to you telling you that someone is speaking poorly of you, ask them what their response was. Are your friends defending you? Are they, you know what I mean, like what's going on there? Why does this person feel comfortable and safe enough to speak poorly of you to other people? Do you know what I mean? Things to consider. um Moving forward, I will say this is, I think, clearing a few decisions that you might be struggling with up. Again, if you like come to discover that these people are saying one thing to your face and another behind your back, that could clarify that you just don't want to be in their presence or allow them into your space anymore. So just, you know, be trust your intuition. The High Priestess just came up. If you are feeling, and then here's the Seven of Swords again. If you are feeling iffy with the Two of Swords, listen, I cannot emphasize this enough. If something doesn't feel right, even if you can't put your finger on it, trust your intuition. If something that someone said is like, that sounded a little off, why did you choose those words? Trust your intuition. If you aren't good with confrontation, you don't have to confront them. But please honor yourself, honor your intuition, and make sure that, you know, you are not moving with people who have these ulterior motives and feel like they have to manipulate. This is a very manipulative kind of energy, double talk kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So trust your intuition, please. The oracle I pulled is number 15, Ursa Major. And this one is talking about vows. It says, keeping your word is important. Someone may be trying to damage your reputation by breaking their word. Check all legal contracts thoroughly before signing. If you make promises to yourself, see them through. You are worth keeping your good word to yourself. Honor yourself. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that it helped. You know the deal. I appreciate all the button clicking, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.